Good morning, everyone. Well, hey, this is it for St. John's, and we're going to be heading down the road here shortly. Gord's been working on our accommodations for the Quebec Labrador Highway, and things are looking pretty good for us. So we're going to get started here today, and we'll be heading north out of St. John's, and we're going to try to take in all those sightseeing spots that I talked about last night. So let's get started here. As we leave St. John's, the weather is cloudy and cold. Several locals have commented to us that this was the coldest spring on record since the 1940s. We often rode in 40-degree weather. It was going to get worse before it got better. Gord has subsequently installed heated grips because of how cold this trip was. We stop off in the town of Holyrood for gas before getting back on the Trans-Canada Highway en route to the Bonavista Peninsula. When we get to Clarenville, we attempt to ride along the coast, which would have been beautiful. But unfortunately for us, a bridge was out, forcing us to take a different road. This meant that we had to backtrack through Clarenville and get back on the Trans-Canada Highway and take another route entirely. After a short ride on the Trans-Canada Highway, we're headed back north to the northeast in the Bonavista Peninsula. The Bonavista Peninsula can be accessed using the Discovery Trail and the Cabot Highway. The peninsula boasts some of the oldest villages in Newfoundland, with the town of Trinity a top attraction. Trinity boasts an old settlement feel along a picturesque coastline. I humbly submit that Trinity is a must-see spot. We were here early enough in the season to avoid the crowds, but at the peak of summer, I bet Trinity is a hopping village filled with tourists. What a beautiful location. I can certainly see why this has become such a tourist hotspot. I'm glad we didn't overlook this and took the time to ride out to the Trinity Bay in the town of Trinity. It isn't long before we turn off the highway towards English Harbor. At English Harbor, we get off the bikes and have a little bit of a walkabout. There's no question the Bonavista Peninsula has some hidden gems along its coast. We rode this gravel road up the hill until we reached the turnabout. A short walk to the coast provided a stunning view of the mouth of Random Sound. To the east of us lies the Atlantic Ocean. Most of Newfoundland's coast is rugged like you see here. There are just a few beaches available, and with the water so cold, I doubt you rarely see swimmers, even in the hottest of months. The ride along the coast takes you through the town of Port Union, located on Catalina Harbor. In 1916, William Coker founded the town and established a base for the Fishermen's Protective Union. In 1999, the historic part of the town was designated as a National Historic Site. Heading further to the northeast, we finally arrive at the town of Elliston. Elliston is known for its puffin viewing site. This was definitely a chosen stopping point. While in Elliston, we stopped off at the Sealers Memorial. The memorial commemorates the loss and injury to men and boys on the SS Newfoundland and the SS Southern Cross. In March of 1914, 132 men left the SS Newfoundland to hunt seals and were caught in a blizzard. Only 55 survived. Likewise, the SS Southern Cross sunk with a loss of 173 souls. While the crew was checking out the memorial, I rode up along the coast and found the puffin viewing area. I continued up the coast to Maberley before turning around. Getting to the puffin viewing area requires a short walk over mostly level ground, but it's a rough path. There are no safeguards, so stay away from the edge. There were puffins on this adjacent island coming off of this little stretch of land here, but without a telephoto lens, you could barely see them. You really need binoculars, and if you want to get pictures, you need a telephoto lens. Elliston is also known as the root cellar capital of the world. I don't know if this claim is accurate, but they do have many historical root cellars to back it up. In my many travels to Canada, it is clear that Canadians expect one to use common sense at overlooks. There are rarely any safeguards like you see in the U.S. So use caution, stay well back, your pictures will look just as good. I know the video doesn't show it hidden in the fog, but to the right of the island is an iceberg. Once in Bonavista, our first attempt at finding a restaurant failed. Our second attempt was a nah, but like Goldilocks, our third attempt was just right. I can highly recommend the Ragged Rots Gastropub. You guys want to clink some glasses?
This is the puffin team.
Raise your glass, Roy.
It's there.
That's a glass. All right, she said, thank you. Some of the locals. This is a neat little bar.
App system because I have to get you there every day. So the more I get ahead, the better it is.
Right. So did it not film, baby? I don't know if I caught it the first time. And here's my new friends from Ontario.
It's got maple leaf hat on.
Ah, perfect, perfect. Wow, what a great meal. With our bellies full and a couple of beer pops down the hatch, we're headed off to our hotel through the fog that's starting to settle in town here. When we get to the hotel, there's these cute little puffin chairs that Sherry wanted to get a picture of. Here's Gord.
Well, hi, everybody. Welcome back. This time, day 13 of travel. Now, if you're keeping track of the dates, which we're not really giving you a whole lot of detail on, we actually spent a couple of days in St. John's at Point 12 here. Got some logistics taken care of, and then this morning we left and backtracked through, but did a little exploration on this one of these northern peninsulas at the top end of the island here. You can see spot 13 is where we ended up for the day. So in detail, here we are again to situate you. St. John's. We did a high-speed backtrack on the Trans-Canada Highway because, as you can see, there's not a lot of other options. However, we did make a right turn, and we went north into the Bonavista Peninsula, and tracking down some very nice secondary roads for the most part. We were actually, today's date was, the best way to describe it was in search of puffins, and in fact we were successful. We ended up in a place called Elliston, which is just short of the top of the peninsula here, and they actually have a specific puffin viewing site. We didn't see a lot of them. A lot of seagulls had invaded their space, but we saw a couple of them hanging around doing what they do, as puffins do. And after that, we trundled up the north of the peninsula. It got very foggy, very cool. It was only about +5 degrees, or I'd say about maybe about 40 degrees Fahrenheit, so it was fairly cool. But nevertheless, stopped in here, had a great meal downtown in Bonavista. If you can call it downtown, it's more like where all the restaurants are in Bonavista. And then we tracked about 3 miles down the road and ended up at our hotel here. So tomorrow should be a little bit more detailed adventuring throughout the next large peninsula, up towards a place called Twillingate, which you can see here. And then finally we're going to make our way back down into civilization, as we know it anyway, Newfoundland style, and then continue our journey to the west. So I hope you enjoyed the day. We got some great scenery shots, and I hope you enjoy those as well. Thanks. Bye-bye now.
Well, it's the end of the day, and we had a great day. Boy, did we ride through some beautiful areas. And our quest to see puffins, iceberg, and whales was partially successful. The crew saw puffins in one area, and I'm pretty confident I saw an iceberg in another area. So we had a great day, and tomorrow we're going to do another peninsula here in Newfoundland. So stay with us, and we'll see you tomorrow.